And welcome to Crippled System, third battle report? Yeah.
Third.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, third.
I'm Andy, Major Tusk. I'm playing my Trollbloods. Wait. No, I'm not. I'm playing my Protectorate.
Wow, you have no idea what's going on.
None.
I'm Jeff, and I'm actually playing Trollbloods.
All right.
And I am Jamie, and I'm just watching.
Yay! All right, so we'll go ahead and start it off right now.
All right, well, the first thing you're going to notice is it's running a little quick because I'm bad at this, and we don't have a death clock to move us along, so we kind of had to hasten things up. But you can see I'm over on the right-hand side. I'm just kind of deploying everything. That's E-Grizzle moving on up the field. Of course, bring Janessa with her.
Yeah, it looks like you've got, Moog, and an Earthborn, and some pigs, right?
Yep, those are actually bushwhackers.
Yeah,
of all things, they're bushwhackers.
They're kind of sweet, actually.
Those are bushwhackers.
Yeah, the only things I wouldn't mention there, Krellstone's pretty obvious, and 2 units of Rune Shapers.
Thank you.
But yeah, right now I'm just kind of moving up positioning. It's Harbinger, so I knew that there was going to be a feat, and if I didn't get up the field, I wasn't going to get up the field. So this is everybody running forward.
Yeah, if anybody ever knows me when I played my Protectorate before, I am notorious for forgetting awe, and that was my reminder to myself is to have a giant sign that says awe right in front of me.
And what does awe do, Andy?
Awe is -2 to attack rolls, any attack rolls within 10 inches within her command.
Right.
So any models that are living or
living. Yep.
So it pretty much punishes my entire army for being anywhere near that floating little.
Yeah.
What's her face?
girl?
Yeah. But this isn't terribly exciting. I guess most of the novelty of this list is I really do like E-Grizzle, regardless of what large parts of the internet have to say. She's actually surprisingly capable. But this gives her a lot of versatility. The 2 units of the Rune Shapers kind of pick up for her lack of magic abilities. The pigs are there to cause problems while I move up the field. And then I let Grizzle shout at a lot of things.
And what scenario are you guys playing?
Into the Breach is the scenario we're playing.
Which has one big zone and an objective, right?
Yep, objective.
A flag, actually.
Flag, yep.
So basically, you dominate the flag, you get a control point. You control the zone, you get a control point. You dominate the zone, you get 2.
Yep.
Is that a 50 mil base in the middle?
No, it's a medium base.
Yeah,
it's the same size as the racks there. Yeah. So this is my first foray into Protectorate. I haven't played Protectorate for I want to say like 2.5 years, 3 years.
Really, your comeback to Protectorate then?
Yeah. I used to play them all the time, and this is an older list, so you're not going to see some awesome things like Bastion Seneschals in there. There's somebody kicking the table. But yeah, you're not going to see Bastion Seneschals in here. You're not going to see any of the other jacks. Basically, I only run Harbinger really with 2 Vanquishers, whole bunch of Weapon Masters. I don't even have an Attendant Priest. And you're going to see move up here in a second that I forgot my book at home, so I was using a different piece.
Yeah, the Sunburst Ballista is representing the book.
Yeah. Probably not the best thing to do in our first, in our third one.
What is that?
Show proxies.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's.
And where was this game played?
This is at Pegasus Games.
Yeah. One of our 3 Hordes hangouts we got in Madison, or Hordes and War Machine, I should say.
So this is Jeff mentioned before. This is sped up 1.25 times. All because we are incredibly slow players. Otherwise, this would be a nice 2-hour battle report.
Yeah.
And
we're moving slow enough, you're not really going to notice the difference much.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of floundering throughout the game where things just don't seem to work the way they're supposed to. Yeah.
Work out. So I'm running both of my jacks up. Because eventually what I'll do is I'll acquire them and I'll set some stuff on fire.
Yeah, it really surprised me. You actually didn't, whatever that is, the no shooting thing on that first round. I was really surprised you decided not to do that.
Oh, no.
I chant for no spells? Or
Nope, I chanted for...
+2 to attack and damage rolls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, just from Kid for Lucky Scatters?
Yep. Because that's how Andy rolls. I I might get a lucky scatter here. Who knows?
Yeah.
I bet you two know.
Oh yeah.
I've already forgotten.
You don't
Trauma sets in, you forget things.
No. You can ask like any of the Madison Meta guys who's the lucky person with scatters, and that's Andy. I will aim at something that's not necessary whatsoever, and I'll miss that model, and that thing will drift, and it'll land on your
Awesome support.
Iris and your other models, and kill them, because that's what I do.
Yeah, like most Trollblood players will take a Pyro Troll because it's got an awesome Animus, and a little bit of fire is always good to have. Andy does it for that, and because he can manage to sit there and peg 3 guys from 16 inches away with the thing.
Yeah, 'cause drifting.
Yeah.
And it's auto fire, and
Yes.
that's one of the reasons why I took the Pyro Troll for the longest time, is because I miss my auto fire Vanquishers.
Hate auto fire so much.
Normally I do too, but I've got a Krellstone this match, so I'm a little less concerned about it.
Yeah, definitely. So I moved Gorman up there to put a little cloud around the Knights, because I know that those stupid Digmies are going to move there.
They're not
But-
Digmies.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers.
I
Yes,
thought you played Trolls.
I did play Trolls.
Yeah, but nobody plays Bushwhackers.
I played.
I played against Bushwhacker last week.
Oh, well.
Faux shiz.
I don't know. I've only used them like 4 times. This is not a shining example of how they should be used.
This is also. I did notice that I only measured out 8 inches for my.
Yeah,
I am
they're-
so
they're-
used to playing my Pyro Troll that I'm thinking of AoE 4 is going 8 inches. But no.
Yeah.
And then there I am charging the book, and then
then-
suddenly going, oh, wait a second, I don't have Pathfinder. And now I'm stuck there thinking where...
She floats.
She floats, but she doesn't have Pathfinder.
Yeah. Her balloon carriers don't navigate the wall so well.
Oh, good point.
And if they just let her go, she'd just leave the table.
Yeah. So...
Yeah. Just absolutely stymied over what goes on
This is a
next.
stop and rethink moment, huh?
Yeah, it was me looking at Gorman, or not Gorman, but Rupert, to see if he can possibly make her float better, but he only affects units. And yeah, just like, oh. And I think that's actually what threw me off here.
In the long run, it didn't make much of a difference.
Didn't make much of a difference.
Because, even after you move her, it makes a difference of maybe an inch, 2.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so... And you didn't put a point of damage on your own book for doing it, so...
That is correct. That would have actually mattered,
Yes.
potentially,
But-
without any spoilers.
Well, because you've got the book here just hanging out in the wind there. And I was
Yeah.
kind of wondering, what was up with that. But,
Oh.
God, how tough it is to kill that thing.
Generally, what I do that is, when I was playing the Harbinger for a long time, I put the book up there, and then I would charge the book, and I would pop my feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's generally what
turn.
would happen. Yeah, first turn.
Well, with the 20-inch control, if she's... Especially in this case where he's going second,
Yeah.
she's going to be, 18, 19 inches from the table edge, and she's hitting 20 inches out of that, so that's basically the other guy's deployment.
She walks 6, I assume.
Yeah. And, there's me measuring out 8 again.
And
And
me
then
going, isn't that
pointing
10?
out 10. I'm like, oh, hey, look, that's great. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's an Andy drift.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
What shot?
The Vanquisher.
The Vanquisher got ancillaried.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it drifts onto the Earthborn and maybe the Pyro Troll, but the Pyro Troll doesn't care.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Earthborn's like, meh.
Yeah. The blast doesn't do much. It's hard to see from this angle, but there's actually a wall right next to him from the field, too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's floating at armor 20 because I didn't use a Stone Zora yet.
Thinking Janessa.
No, that's not Janessa's wall. That's just a wall that was on the table.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just running my Knights Errant. So I run with 2 Knights Errant, unit of Bastions, full choir, 3 Jacks, basically with the Devout hanging around the Harbinger, the Rax, and Hierophant. And a couple Mercs thrown in there for good measure.
No, the standards, the Piper of Menoth and Gorman.
Yep.
Well, he's just kind of moving everything up, getting as close to them as he can because nothing's amazingly quick.
Nope. Speaking of amazing quick, you have a spell that I don't like.
Yeah, it's a little hard to pick up in the video, but we'll cover it when we get there. Right now, we're just... I was having a blast because I thought you knew what Trollbloods could do, and there was a couple moments during this game where you're just like, wait, that's what they do?
Yeah, I was... Yeah.
Do you not play Gristle?
I played her a couple times, but definitely not enough to really get used to her. I like her. I just really liked playing Jarl, but more. And I always play Doomshaper. So, and that was the fire roll for the Earthborn, which was a 12.
Yeah, so 4 points of damage on the Earthborn from the fire that was just sitting on him. Yep, Earthborn next to a wall takes 4 points of damage from fire.
Sweet.
Yeah. But I'm not too concerned. And if it were any other faction that wasn't full of jacks, that's actually a good thing, because then my troll is hurt so I can snack on something. You know? Something happens if I was playing against like Emor Von or something like that. Like, okay, now I've got a good opportunity to eat something. Because snacking is really useful.
Yep. Oh, that was me talking about the stupid tech that we were talking about.
Oh, yeah. Well, the pointing there, I think, was the...
Yeah, that was when I was talking about... a goofy thing that you could do with Iris, or with an Earthborn, is you could put the Earthborn Animus on itself, and you could run it like after Iris, and Iris will think, "Oh, I'll just shoot off that Animus," but he has it naturally.
Yeah, his Animus grants him an ability that's already on his rule card.
Yeah, so you could, if nobody else listens to this, you could possibly trick somebody into taking that shot off of him if they think they're going to go kill that Earthborn that turn.
You're like, I'll get it off them. Nope.
It's still there.
Yep. He lives with it.
Hey, and this is where I remember that what I was supposed to do last turn was feat, and I did not feat, and I was angry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just forcing the Earthborn to regenerate a little. For some reason, I forced him because I thought I needed more Fury in the board, and I come to regret that later in the turn.
Although, wouldn't feeding second turn in some way be better for you, Andy?
What?
Well, because normally in the circumstance, if you would have feeded now, anything I want to shove into that zone, minus my beasts and my caster, is likely to die.
Yep.
So he has full reign over that zone over there.
She's usually pretty good at second, at least first turn feeding. I've done it before. If I go first, then I don't want to feed first turn. But if I'm going second, they're already going to be trying to push them the action, and if I hit them with the feet, then I'm pushing them further.
And most infantry and a lot of other things just don't like eating that power 14 fire damage roll. So like here, I moved the Earthborn and Janessa up pretty fearlessly, threw down the wall just because that's what Janessa does, and the Earthborn loves that stuff. And had no repercussions for it.
Right.
Like I could have gotten further, but then he just would have charged me to bits, and I've got a better range game, kind of.
And Janessa's wall is
yes, it is a spell.
Was she outside the book?
The book didn't activate. The book ran up to that point.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's still everything is just fine.
Yeah,
except for I didn't feed.
Yeah, his army hasn't done too much to me other than drift that AoE onto me and cause a massive damage roll there.
Of 4.
Well, yes, yeah. Well, I mean, it's still more than I was expecting out of a fire damage roll on him. And this is the spot when Andy gets upset because he didn't think the Bushwhackers had a range 14 on those little rifles.
It was like 14. What? I didn't realize. Man, I need to play Bushwhackers more.
They're really hard to get a hold of because that Rat 4 does not go a long way.
Okay, they're Rat 4.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the big issue with them because it does come into play.
And
spoiler
they're cowardly. They're command 7, so they have to kind of keep a decently tight grouping, and that's usually a really bad idea on low armor models.
Or if you have Vanquishers on the table.
Yeah. Right, exactly. But here I'm just kind of taking a handful of pot shots at the book with them, just kind of doing firing pairs to put some damage on it, because that's a great spot for Bushwhackers to do something.
Yeah. It's only dice -2 for even if you're just firing one at them, but dice minus.
The hard part with firing one is hitting.
Nothing
because I need 8 to hit with 1. I need 6 to hit with 2.
Let's check it off.
Yeah. It's not in awe range. Here's where I can just go through like figuring out where my firing pairs are because I don't use Bushwhackers enough. I get really bad at blocking their own line of sight. But hit them, ping the book, la-di-da.
I wish I had CRA. The Winter Guard Rifle Corps. That'd be sweet.
They don't?
No. The Rifle Corps drops an AoE.
Oh, okay. But that's like a covering fire AoE, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's still pretty damn good.
Yep. Yeah, now I remember them.
Yeah, combined range. Well, they're already solid because they've got a 14-inch range gun too, don't they?
But if it was CRA, it'd be amazing.
Well, yeah. And I think the reason they don't have CRA is because of the things like the Prime Butcher's feat, because a unit like that with CRA and a bonus die and damage.
No, they don't have it because the WGI does.
Yeah.
Which is Winter Guard infantry, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Winter Guard Death Star.
Yeah.
Why don't you run my trench there, Andy? Sorry, I was thinking I think about Death Stars.
And so at this point in time, I managed to put 2 points of damage onto the book. My third firing squad missed, and then I'm just taking shots wherever I can get them. And doing a line of sight thing like 6. I'm really bad at
wondering if the
bushwhackers.
laser's going to come in this game.
Yeah. There it is.
Yep.
Now, is that a Crippled system laser, or is that just having to have a sticker on it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the little on the box itself?
Yeah.
That's my card.
Yeah.
Yeah, sexy. With the incorrect phone number for Pegasus Games on it. It wasn't made by me. It was made by Video-Fan, Nathan.
Oh,
Well,
so it probably leads to one of his phone sex lines or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Wait, like his is in his favorite, or one that he actually mans?
Can't it be both?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
He'll talk dirty to you about War Machine and Hordes all at the same time, you know.
I think it was a talk dirty to me.
All right. So, like I said, I'm glad this is double speed, because otherwise this would be really embarrassing with how long it's taking me to fire with these pigs.
Yeah, one lesson learned from this is we make sure that there's a death clock on the table.
Yeah, it keeps us motivated. And it's hard to tell, too, because you can mostly see just the table, but you can see shadows of other people, and we got distracted by their conversations because we weren't pushed for time.
Yeah, we have a peanut gallery that keeps on showing up.
Yep. Mostly because of the camera, not because of us. All right, so here's the thing that always kills me with my Grizzle list is I take way too long with Grizzle herself because she's got a lot of options. But the first thing I do, and this is what pisses Andy off, is I'm writing inhospitable ground on that token.
Hey, I'll say for there, fuck that shit.
Yeah, yeah. There was a point in time where when you could hear in Andy's voice, wait, that's the spell she's got.
Yeah,
because now his army is in a terrible bog of no Pathfinder except for whatever the Piper decides to help.
I was going to say, you got Rupert there, which helps a lot.
Well, it helps one unit.
But yeah, I'm pretty much all infantry anyway. Which,
Yeah. And now I start letting out some sonic belches, and I'm trying to figure out where to set them. And I kept thinking maybe I can just smash the book, but Martyrdom sucks a lot.
What? Martyrdom is a great ability.
Yeah.
You're the one that has it.
Yeah. I am very glad that no other caster has that ability.
Yeah.
Except for basically, technically, Morvana 2 could be considered almost having martyrdom. It's oh, God, I hate her so much.
I actually have managed to dodge playing her so far.
Really? I've played her once. I know I could have played it differently. My opponent had only one really big heavy threat, and the rest were all his infantry. Mm-hmm. And had I sent my Ravagors straight into that heavy threat, I could have probably just took it off the table. And then he would have had just infantry, and I could care less about infantry.
Yeah. Well, circle infantry.
Yeah. Well, the Skinwalkers are pretty sweet,
yes.
But they do hit kind of hard.
Yeah, from Morvana, it's the Ravagers I usually worry about more because they tend to hit harder and better, and their relative frailty doesn't make much difference when you can just bring them back.
Yeah.
All right. So what just happened there is I shouted Grizzle's Quake Shout, hit the jack because I could just to knock it over and try to slow it down even further.
Oh no, it's going to cost him a focus to stand up next turn.
Yeah, that's basically
it's not like I have 10 of those.
But it's also one less focus you can put on the jack to, in theory, beat me down if you can get up to me or something like that, too.
That was me taunting that I didn't even need to use my martyrdom on my choir member, because I've got 6 of them.
Yeah. Well, an instant choir member doesn't mean much. And then I'm just checking my control range, because that happens to be the same range as my gun with far shot on her. Okay. Because this is the point I realized that I've got to do something to slow the rest of the army down, because Rupert's over there.
Yep. Yeah, I was really going to try to see if I can try to bring Rupert across the table, but he would be too slow to be able to do that.
He walks 6, and his range on his thing is 3?
It's actually command.
Is it command?
Yeah. So it's actually not that far away, but I had so much crap in the middle of the table there that I really wanted to get Rupert into those knights. You'll see in a couple minutes. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work out. God, I hate Gristle.
Yeah, because what happens here is I peg him with that crescendo ability. And for those who don't know what that one is it's just a 4-inch AoE that stays on the table, so it's kind of like a covering fire template. It does initial damage and blasts like a regular attack would, but anybody who steps into that takes a power 12 damage roll.
Yeah, it's like covering fire.
Yeah.
Is she just singing that for the entire turn?
Well, it's a ranged gun. So it's
But
a
it's first singing, though, right?
Yeah, it's a fell blast.
So she's just, like, sitting there holding a note for however long it takes you to move into it.
They actually covered a little bit in the fluff. She, like, yells, and it, like, leaves her, so to speak, and it leaves this shimmering area of
reverberates
sound.
in the
Yes.
air. Okay.
I don't know how it works, but then again, you shouldn't be able to use a sonic blast from your lungs to kill somebody either. And she does that all the time.
They're trolls, and they're magical, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except that attack's not magic, which is why there's a lot of rune shapers in the list.
It's kind of silly, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because it's just sound, but sound doesn't do that. So, I mean...
Right. That's... Okay.
So, I mean, take your pick on as to why it's not magical, but it is not. And
Oh, big man moving forward.
oh, yeah, big surprise Mulg's going up, huh?
What?
Yeah.
No way.
I know.
Why would he even go closer to the enemy? That doesn't make any sense.
Actually, with this list, I often like to leave Mulg just a little bit beside. I don't like to lead with him, because Grizzle is so freaking tough that if someone's silly enough to try to kill her when she's that close, Mulg really can punish them hard.
So you use him as a counterpunch?
Yeah.
Or you take advantage of his protective fit. And spoiler alert, I was worried about that later on.
Yeah.
To be fair, you should always be worried about protective fit.
Well, a lot
Yeah.
of people forget he even has it because he's just so well known for don't hurt him. He'll charge you from, halfway
away.
across the board and smash you with his power 19, mash stick.
And fit's not Doomy specific. It's whatever his caster is, right?
Right.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mulg likes his casters.
Yeah.
He doesn't like people messing
Yeah,
with him.
but what Doomy gives him is if Mulg is done with his activation and whatever he's been fighting hasn't died, he gets one more swing in.
That's right.
Which is still really, really good, but he's good enough without it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other reason Mulg's in this list is because his Animus works really well on a caster like Grizzle. Because his Animus is models when your command range can't cast spells and lose their animi.
Mm-hmm.
And Grizzle boasts that command of 9. She loves to play at the front of the field, so just leaves this nasty dead zone of spell casting against lists that make the difference.
Yeah, my Cricks would have a problem with that.
Yeah,
yeah, it's actually some pretty good tech.
yeah.
But that does not disable Arc Nose, does it?
It does not disable Arc Node, so it would not stop your Cricks at all unless you're really upfront about them.
Right. So it's unlike a Agonizer.
Yeah, like it's basically Inhospitable Ground is hit or miss against a lot of armies, but most of the armies Inhospitable Ground doesn't do well on, that Animus does.
Yep.
So like Circle, it'll really piss off a squad of Druids really fast.
Oh, that token I had out by the Harbinger, that was for the Spell Ward. I activated the Devout with the focus on him. I forgot I wrote that down. I must have did that mid-turn.
Yeah. And it just so everyone knows, it shouldn't be a big surprise that the Krellstone basically is going to sit there and activate for the rest of the game and go, don't light me on fire? I can't imagine why.
I don't know why.
All right, troll players. Is Mulg the best heavy in Hordes?
The best heavy in Hordes? No.
I'd say he's the best heavy in Trolls, obviously,
Well,
but
yeah.
but in Hordes, I would probably say the Bronzeback is probably If I could have a Bronzeback in my Troll list, that would be,
for his points and what he does, I can't fathom that.
yeah, he's
Like 3 initial attacks with Matt. Is the Bronzeback Matt 7?
I don't know
7 or 8.
whatever
It's
it
not
hit,
8.
Basically, it's Matt. Whatever I hit, I kill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 3 initial attacks. It's still got Fury 5.
Do you think he's undercosted?
Yes. I actually think that both the Bronzeback and the Gladiators are undercosted in Scorn. I can't believe that the Gladiator's an 8-point heavy.
Oh, I know, right?
I don't.
Well, see, my problem is like I hold it side by side next to a Mauler, and I know I shouldn't do that, but I see that Gladiator's got more armor, more health, more initial attacks, unless you count the chain attack.
Oh,
Well, they both have grab and smash, though. They both have grab and smash.
No. The Bronzeback's got grab and smash. The Gladiator.
Didn't the Gladiator used to have grab and smash?
In the playtest.
Didn't the Blitzer used to have grab and smash?
No.
I could have sworn the Blitzer used to have grab and smash.
No, the
back in
Blitzer
day.
used to have really weird pig ace rules where you could run and still fire the gun.
weird.
And it can also do power attacks. So I remember throwing
the
things.
The Pig Ace was like a separate thing entirely, but you couldn't boost it.
Correct.
So you had that Rat 5 gun, so you really needed an easy target.
Yeah, which usually involved the blitzer walking up, throwing something, two-handed throwing somebody,
Right,
and then shooting it
the
while
ace
it's on the ground.
hoping you roll a lot so you can fill it full of bullet holes.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. As me firing my first shot there into Mulg after doing some triangulation with the Harbinger.
With the Vanquisher?
Vanquisher,
Yep.
yeah. POW 16s, you know. I mean, he's armor 21 right now, but I could
That's
do...
-5 boosted. It's not
Yep.
bad.
Yeah, you
some
can
damage.
put some hurt into him.
Oh, that hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hitting is not hard. Mulg's defense whopping 11 against his
Rat.
aiming, battle-driven Jack. So,
Yeah.
like, he needs snakes to miss
Like
that.
what, Rat 8 there?
Rat 9,
Oh, God.
Yeah.
because they're 5s.
Ah.
So I was just checking to see if Gristle was in range of the AoE, and she was not. It was boosted. I think I only do like 5 points.
Yeah, 4 or 5, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you banged him up, and Mulg wasn't happy with that.
Yep.
Now, how does Mulg move when you hurt him?
He basically gains +2 speed for 1 round.
Okay, so it's on his next activation he moves. Or
Well,
Correct.
he's got 2 different movement shenanigans. Protective Fit is if you hurt his controlling caster, he can advance towards whatever did it
Yep.
and make a melee attack. He's also got, I forget the exact name of it, but if an enemy model damages him, unless he's advancing...
hyper aggressive or
No, it's something else. I forget.
Okay.
But either way, like if the enemy hurts him, he gets +2 speed the following round. So he goes from speed 4 to speed 6.
which does count for his fits.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here I decided instead of shooting another shot into Mulg, I was thinking about putting all 4 shots into Mulg right away. POW 16s would be pretty good. And then I saw Janessa, and I'm like, oh, I got to kill her.
Yeah, I forgot how well they can aim with that. It's like, okay, she's just going to get blasted. So she dies.
Behind a wall, even.
Yep.
Well, I mean, she's only defense 16 with that wall helping her out.
Yeah,
and against Rat 9?
Yeah,
Yeah, I needed
With
7.
a boost? Yeah.
That's
My best bet was to hope she made her tough roll, because then you'd have to try it again without the boost.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm going to miss Janessa, but just having that wall there, that 1 round still makes a huge difference.
And I also, one thing you notice too, until later in the game, I do not take advantage of my racks at all.
You just forget about him.
Yeah, there's an ancillary shot there
Yep.
going at the pigs, which
So,
has a pretty decent anti-scatter.
yeah, it picks up on 3 of them with 4-inch AoE. Wasn't terribly surprised. And they're not close enough for the stone to stop them from getting ignited, so... You had a bit of a prophecy there for that guy, because you didn't put a fire token on him, but you'll just see in a second, he just dies anyways.
So, having played against the Incendiary lately, auto fire is just complete bullshit.
Those Incendiary piss me off, because a Pyre Troll is 5 points and is one of those guys with 2 shorter range.
Yep.
And for, was it 6 points, you get 4 of them? Something like that? Maybe it's 7 points?
I should be playing them. Man,
Well, I mean-
I love auto fire.
But do you love auto fire enough to play the rest of Scorn?
Maybe.
You do get bronze back.
Maybe you check out that awesome drift there.
See, here's the definition of an anti-scatter. He fires it at the stone, out of range. It drifts to hit the stone and 2 of the scribes right behind it.
I drift 14
Yeah.
directly into the stone.
Go straight towards it.
God.
Well, not auto fire because the stone's aura still works on their own squad. Right. So the stone made his tough check and falls over, and then the other 2 guys just burn in a fire.
So they do, in fact, die in a fire.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I wasn't quite expecting to lose two scribes quite that way. And I usually like to use them as late game pieces because most of the time they get ignored most of the game.
And the scribes, do they add to the range of the stone?
Not directly. You can have you can only have as much fury on the stone as you have numbers of guys in the squad.
Oh, okay.
So, like in this case, it didn't make a difference. There were still enough guys to cover the amount of fury on it. But if you kill enough dudes, it starts falling off, and then the fury factors into the size of the aura.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And just a note: Into the Breach does not have kill box, so therefore,
Yep. Somebody goes back behind the wall
yeah,
and pops her feet.
yep.
And feed is a while, I assume, right? So it's an aura?
It's if an enemy ends its advance in her control area closer than it began. it eats
Yeah,
a
so
power
it's-
14 fire damage
Yeah,
roll.
so it's an aura.
It basically covers pretty much his whole army except for
A few
a
pigs.
couple digmies and
Not dig me.
pigs. Yes, bushwhackers.
Shoot
Damn.
me's.
Yeah, they're non-digmies.
Yeah, because everyone always assumes dignities because they work really well and they're easy to take people by surprise with.
Like, man, he didn't burrow this for like 3 turns in a row. What the heck?
I know, right?
Oh my god.
Well, you'd be surprised when people just mindlessly play them. Like, first turn, burrow them. Like, you can take so many people off guard by having a second turn burrow for those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they all have tough anyway, and it doesn't matter if they're knocked down when they burrow.
Well,
'cause-
if I'm missing 2 or 3 guys, I don't really care. I
Yeah.
mean, I often find that they have to crowd themselves in to deploy anyways. It makes it easier to navigate them if there's a casualty or two. Assuming they didn't break from it.
Right, because they're only command, 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're little cowards.
So I think I cast Crusader's Call, and I popped my feet there. So, and me
what does
trying to
Crusader's Call do, Andy?
Crusader's Call is +2 to speed when charging
For everything or your battle group?
for everything in our control.
Which is everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that might counteract some of the stupid
Inhospitable ground.
inhospitable ground, and no, that's not the case. Because my stuff doesn't make it there.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you get to watch him begrudgingly figure out what to do with his errants as they, like that's a failed charge roll right there.
Yeah.
And,
This one should have actually gone back a little bit further. Oh no, this charge actually
yeah,
did
that
make
one,
it.
that one's legit.
Yep, but I never roll it. I'll
Yeah.
just give that away now.
You felt sorry for the knockdown pig on fire.
Two turns in a row, I do not roll.
But wouldn't you get a Snapfire?
No, those are
these-
errants. Those are
these-
exemplars.
These are Knights Exemplar. Yeah, I run. I. This is an old list. This is even
People play something other than errands?
Actually, if I would have seen errants, I would have been pretty happy. Versus the exemplar in this case. This is a rare scenario for that, but
errands so much.
oh no, I do too. But they would have been closer. Those bushwhackers would have had a much better opportunity because their defenses are pretty bad. I could have shot at them, taken a couple casualties, and stayed at a distance most of the game. Them shooting back the bushwhackers, I don't care too much, and I can use the bushwhack to actually take the errants out of position while still harassing them.
Got it.
The errants become much more of an obstacle because they get harder to kill, and I don't have a lot of heavy hitters outside of my beasts and my caster.
You mean the exemplars?
Yes.
Yep.
See, doing the same thing with the that Andy's doing with the pigs. It's just I never see the other thing. So
Right.
Yep. So here's hoping for a good Andy drift. Not so much.
yeah,
And do the errands get vengeance moves or not?
no, they just get tougher and stronger the more you kill.
What gets
Yep.
vengeance moves in Menoth?
I don't know.
I'm just crazy. I'm crazy. Never mind.
Maybe
certain
the
something
pikemen.
Yeah, I thought something did.
Yeah, that might be like a mini feat or something on the standard or something like that.
No, I don't think they. I don't think the. We've got jacks that have vengeance moves.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's too bad we don't have a judge here.
yeah,
I heard you guys have one now.
yeah. He's got an ego.
What? No way.
Yeah. So what we may notice is that black oil drifted onto both a rune shaper and one of those knights exemplar. So he blinded 2 of his own guys and not Mulg like he was hoping to do.
Yeah, Blind Mog is good.
Yeah.
For Menoth.
Blind
Yeah.
Mulg is good for anybody.
It's that Mog.
Well, yes, Mulg doesn't like that.
No.
Yeah, I'm just positioning these guys up here because
Yeah,
they're pretty much useless at this point because I can't really get them into combat.
Yeah, by happenstance, her control area was just about at the edge of that forest, so it's difficult terrain for them almost everywhere.
I did Rupert the Bastions, so I got 2 of them going into the Earthborn, and I think 1 going over to
Yeah, one goes over to our rune shaper.
RuneShaper.
Yeah.
I do suddenly realize that because I sent 1 through the cloud, takes POW
POW 12.
12, takes 5 damage, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have numbers on my guys very well because I haven't played with them in like 3 years. So,
Whoops.
Yeah.
so it's gonna be a second error.
There's a bit of a technical difficulty.
So, pro tip, kids. Make sure you number your multi-wound units. It's
Yep.
handy for everyone.
Yep,
Yeah.
and put frickin' facing markers on all of your models.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do that.
Yeah, one pro tip there is you can use the wet erase markers and actually go over the side of it, and then when you're ready to paint the model, you can
just
just
take it off.
take it off. and the way the wet erase marker goes over that, it kind of leaves like a sheen on
So
it.
it's a little more shiny.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
So you can
I
kind of
didn't
see
know
it.
that.
Yeah, I've got it on a lot of my stuff, but yeah.
And if you're in a pinch, you can just use like a metal Sharpie too. Those work just fine.
Yep.
And if you look online for base marker template, there's a couple floating on the internet that are
Yeah, Young Wolf
full-size.
7, I think, has got the templates for those. I've
Super
got
handy.
I've got one that's actually in my one of my bins that I use all the time.
Yep.
So now we got everything marked. Andy sends a bastion up and around because he learned the hard way that when you run through that token, that you can't distribute that damage.
Oh yeah, no, I knew that. I wasn't expecting it to take that much damage, and
Explain why not. Does the Bastion rule specifically says while advancing?
it's only by enemy attack.
Yeah. So
You can only
once the
transfer
template's
damage.
down, it's kind of like if you caught fire.
Yep.
It's not. It's like a result of an attack, but it's not an attack in and of itself.
So if a bastion's on fire, and let's say he takes 6 points of damage,
Right.
he can't distribute that to his buddies.
So continuous effects are not counted as enemy, but even though it's an enemy attack, that's still on the table. So does that count for things like
Covering-
Scather templates,
Yep.
covering fires?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Correct. Yep. The model that takes it has to take it, which is something that it's kind of a rookie mistake. A lot of people don't play it that way. A lot of people just like, oh, it just takes 6 points from fire, so I'll just distribute it. And like, no, that's not the case.
So, pro tip, learning moment.
Yep.
Things on the board that aren't, on their turn in a direct attack aren't technically enemy attack.
Yeah.
And the book is moving up straight into Gristle's face
Yep. And
with the Harbingers right in martyrdom range.
and Andy doesn't want to get inhospitable grounded again, so it's going with no spell casting
What?
to shut off my rune shapers and
I wouldn't possibly ever do that.
I am 100% shocked.
I know. Yeah.
I'm not shocked.
It's not like the stone's going to move up and do anti-fire.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Oh, damn! Sorry.
So that seems like pretty good tech against her feet.
Against the Harby,
Yeah.
have models that are immune to fire.
Seems good.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't. The stone doesn't make them immune to fire. It just stops them from getting caught on fire. So they'll take fire
Oh,
damage
so
rolls.
take the POW 14.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the best tech I've gotten there is hard to see, but there's a pirate troll back there. He's immune to her feet entirely
And you can put the animus
on something before it advances, and it won't take the damage roll.
Yeah.
I think what just happened here, though, too, the Earthborn just frenzied.
Is it your? Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
that was just it. As the Earthborn, I overdid my Fury because I thought I was going to take a pot shot and Grizzle. I was going to have to transfer, and instead, I'd finally leave a point of Fury. And the Earthborn, he frenzies and goes to eat a Bastion, and eats a part of Harby's feet for having to advance at the same time.
Yep.
But boy, howdy, does he kill the hell out of that Bastion?
Yep, there he goes. Yeah.
Yeah, grrr, roar.
Now, did you not transfer any of that?
I did a crushing amount of damage.
Yeah, he did a ton of damage. So I'm like,
right.
no,
Because that's the other thing too is if you do a lot of damage, you have to transfer it all
exactly.
around, or you can just let the guy die and the overkill gets wasted.
Yep.
So Earthborn eats a Bastion, and that's the end of his activation, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then I'm doing pretty simple pretty good on most of the Bastions. There's only 1 health missing on all of them except for one that took 5 extra damage or 4 extra damage. So
Yeah.
So did the Earthborn just pulp one?
Yeah, it's the result of pulping on. If you can see the dice or not, I think it's like a 5, a 6, and a 3.
There he goes.
And he's borrowing the Bastion's power 5 stab stick. So
yeah,
Yep.
bastard.
Which puts him up to what? Strength 17?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So dice +1.
Pretty good.
If you would have spread that around, it would have probably still undone 2 Bastions.
Well, average dice will kill one of them.
Yeah. Well, that's my disappointment with the Earthborn and him frenzying.
That does seem bad for you.
Yeah, and like the other thing is I got the order of activation mixed up a little bit. What you didn't see was the stone just stood up and activated and didn't go anywhere because it didn't obviously want to take any damage from the feet. And my army's all here anyways. Yeah,
Yep.
they weren't going anywhere. And then I think for way too long because I don't have a clock.
Oh, you can't put the animus with Gristle because that's a spell.
Right.
Yep.
He didn't have a lot of spell casting for me to stop because Harvey's way too far away for me to stop Harvey from doing anything.
No, but you can't throw out the Pirate Troll animus too.
The Pyre Troll can.
Yeah, he can, but
Yes.
Gristle can't.
Correct.
So you can only have one instance on the board,
Yeah.
Yep.
which actually seems pretty good.
And actually,
Andy.
I think I handled the feat fairly well in this round. You'll see what happens in the meantime, but I don't lose too much from Harvey's feat. I take a couple points of damage on my trolls,
generally most players. I mean, I don't see people really dying to defeat that much.
Yeah, because he didn't burn it first turn, so I was able to get into the one zone and contest with a big heavy beast, which is bound to die next turn from the swarms of guys around it. But it's contesting for now, and that's all that really makes a difference.
Yep.
And then, let's see here. Yeah, once again, thinking for way too long. Because what I'm trying to do is I see that one knight errant between Mulg and that Jack. And I'm trying to figure out enough way to put enough firepower into him to make him die so I can kill the Jack. But martyrdom's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that Andy's going to do everything he can to stop Mulg from smashing a Jack up and getting into the back rows and that close to the Harbinger.
Yeah, the thing I have problems with this list normally is against heavies, and just because the Vanquishers, they're not really great heavies themselves. They're only POW 16s. They're 18s with the choir, but
with the ancillary shots and the battle hymn, that's 4 shots. They can usually drop a lot of regular heavies or do enough damage to take them away from the game.
Just frequently, whenever I played with them, I always ran into problems with somebody with a ton of heavies.
Okay.
So
yeah, the heavies here get a lot more mileage because of the stone.
Especially when I lose one. Yeah, when I lose one of those Vanquishers, then, I mean, like, if Mulg would have gone in and
your hitting power goes way down.
Yeah, I don't really have much to back up that. I have a bunch of Weapon Masters, but they, for some odd reason, don't seem to kill heavies.
Yeah. So we're seeing me there is me using the actual bushwhack order on the bushwhackers and taking pot shots at the nearby errants who weren't able to engage because of inhospitable ground, and then rolling a lot of 3s, like I think like 4 of them out of the 5 shots I took.
There's a lot of time wasted just on the poor bushwhackers that do nothing.
Yeah, like they could have been really cool, and I mean their odds weren't terrible in those circumstances, especially when they're shooting at the blind guy.
Rolling 2 doesn't help.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of that, and like, okay, what can I do? Let's just take a shot in the dark, and shot in the dark didn't accomplish anything
again.
Yeah. Well, that one needed an 8 to hit, so I wasn't expecting much out of it. It's just still a little soul crushing to see more low numbers show up.
The pigs are scared, and so kids at home, for those unaware, the bushwhack order allows you to shoot first, then move.
Yep. And obviously not going to be going any closer to the Harbinger, so, there's only one way to go past that.
Laterally?
I suppose.
2 ways.
Oh, snap. I have been served.
That's what you get for talking to a guy from a big city.
Yeah.
So what you doing down here in Madison?
I'm hanging out with cool Crippled System guys.
Yay!
Like Jeff and Andy. And not the guys who are jerks. Like the other 2.
Ooh, Brian and Nathan?
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah, they're pretty... They were being completely jerky to you
they were
at our last podcast.
I mean, to be completely honest, it was true. I'm not the key player on Focus and Fury.
But
that's okay.
You're an awesome player.
I'm comfortable.
You're like the heartbeat of Minnesota right now.
Currently?
A
little bit. We're bringing it back. We're going to come crush your guys' faces.
No.
We hope.
How can we... You guys can't compete with our off-topic anymore. Yeah, you can. You guys can.
We got Nigel. We still can.
Yeah.
All right, so this is where I gave up and tried to do anything fancy, so Mulg moves into range on the book.
No.
Because he's just going to teach that book who's boss.
Yeah, Mulg doesn't know how to read.
Yeah.
He doesn't like books.
He's so angry.
Yeah, and he just took some damage from the feet.
All right, Jeff, I have a question.
What's that?
Why didn't you move the Pirate Troll over and Miss Mulg first?
Because power 14 on armor 21 Mulg
Not as scary.
is not as scary.
Okay.
And it allows me to position the Pirate Troll a little bit better. Which I don't think I really took advantage of this round. But, like, the other thing is it just... I was planning using that Pirate Troll to start trying to ignite a lot of those Exemplar and Bastions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so Mulga's just buying attack after attack on that book. There's a couple misses in here, I think. Like, I know that was a 5, so that still hit. Yep, and
There's the martyrdom.
Yep. So the book would officially be dead by now and eaten if it weren't for the Harbinger.
All I can just envision now is Mulg just chewing on a mouthful of paper.
Yeah, like, this is so unsatisfying.
You shouldn't be able to regenerate from paper.
There's still people reading that book.
I think that was me doing the dance because Moog missed.
Yeah. And so that one, you'll notice, I actually got the double tens. I'm trying to decide, did I want to slam that book around? And you'll see in a moment what my decision was.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, he's checking on awe too, I think.
Yeah.
And once again, me thinking way too long because I don't have a clock to push me along.
Yep. Again, lesson learned. Next
Yes.
time, we'll make sure we have death clocks. I have like 10 death clocks just sitting in the hallway that I could have brought, and like, nah, we don't need them.
Yeah.
I don't need to actually bring my book either. We're going to work with
The book,
The
so I
sunburst.
decided to slam the book and it goes flying back 6 inches, and
Oh, snap.
yeah, it hits the other jack, doesn't do anything because here's where we make a small rules mistake, and Andy, and I think we just because communication, Andy writes down some damage, and we undo the damage on the Harbinger of Martyrdom because like he already took the hit from the club.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that knock down the jack, though?
No.
No, it's a small base, technically.
Yeah, there's a rule on the book where it counts as a small based figure.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hacks.
But based on that same rule, I was wishing I had a swamp troll most of this game because you can crit consume it and to drag it.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
So, like in theory, like the swamp troll in the start of the game would have walked up, hit the book, boosted the attack roll, maybe crit consumed it. If it didn't, dragged it and started making melee attacks well out of martyrdom range.
You know, like, I don't play trolls very often, but I really like swamp trolls.
No, swamp trolls are really good.
Drag is sweet.
The hardest part you have is they're surprisingly fury hungry.
Well, then they can't drag heavies.
Yeah, but you get used to that. What do you expect out of a 4-point beast?
Yeah.
Right.
But you can take a lot of people by surprise with that. Like, he's real vicious with Impaler in the army because he can roll up 5 with Pathfinder, shoot that tongue out 12 inches,
Oh, yeah.
and snag something and bring it home.
I scared the crap out of Nathan one time when I was playing my trolls versus his McBain list, and he moved up a feated Elixia into my face, and he didn't see it. And I was like, I'm going to aim with my swamp troll. Nathan's like, I didn't crit consumer, but that would have been pretty awesome.
That would have been sweet.
Yeah, so basically this is me firing off a quake shot at, I think, the book, just to sit there and knock the jack down over nearby, and put more damage onto the Harbinger or get rid of the book.
Okay, I have a question.
What's that?
What is you guys' favorite moment when you do something to a caster? Like you snack it, or you do something weird effect-wise?
Well, you were talking about the Swamp Troll. I had a game with Prime Grim where Grim rolled up, popped his feet, shot a caster with a snare gun, threw his animus on the Swamp Troll. Swamp Troll rolled up, hit the knockdown caster with his tongue, dragged it basically 12 inches across the board to the melee range, where the nearby mauler just walked up to the downed caster and went, "Hi."
Mauler eater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
My favorite is just about any time that somebody casts spells under Doomshaper 1's feet.
Yeah, that's always fun. All right. Now, here's actually a play that I finally thought of and I was actually really proud of, post-fact. I'm firing a crescendo at that Bastion in melee with the Earthborn. Because I realized that Grizzle's hanging out in the open with nothing to really protect her from a lot of fire. So, but it does mean I hit the dude. Grizzle stopped to aim, by the way. And it puts that big 4-inch template between her and almost all those bastions.
But it's not a cloud, however, right?
It is not a cloud. So they can still charge her, but every one of them who decides they want to is going to eat a power 12 hit.
Yep.
And they've taken some lumps already. One guy's already dead. That could be enough damage to swing it, and they still have to get around that Earthborn.
And I assume that one's an enter or end activation.
Right.
Yep.
So if that guy even walks in, he's got to get out of the thing.
Yeah, he's got to move out of it,
Yeah.
or
He'll still get his
or
attack
die.
before anything happens to him, but he won't be able to sit there and say like, "Oh, I'm already here, I'm fine."
So at this moment, are you worried about that Bastion going and punching Gristle?
One Bastion? No.
No.
She's defense 15, armor 17 with that stone pumping. That's armor 19.
Wait, she's 15, 17 base?
She's 15, 17 base.
That's really good.
Yeah. And this is me just kind of figuring how far things are and checking line of sight and stuff like that. Because the next thing she does is buy another shot because she can't do any freaking spells, so she's going to use every one of her freaking Fell Blasts.
Yeah, which is basically almost like a little mini spell in general. So that's
She can buy multiple of those?
Yep, it's basically it's a rate of fire 3 gun, so she has to spend more fury to get the attacks.
Yep.
But she can go up to 3 different shots. She just has to do a different shot every time. And so she drops her 10-inch spray across basically my Earthborn and I think it was 3 or 4 of those bastions.
That seems effective.
Yeah. So at that point in time, too, they're going to be some very, very wounded because she sat there and aimed so she wouldn't take any feet damage. And so she's going to hit every one of those things. And I mean, I don't think she pulled off any kills with that. But
I don't think she did enough damage. I can't remember exactly, but I know that
she bruised the squad.
Yeah, I know that there's some more damage, but they're pretty much most of them. And you can almost see the mark on my card. I think you only take like 3 more.
Up.
Yeah. I mean, dice -4, an average about 3 points per bastion on 3 or 4 bastions. That'll sting. And so, like, after I got that off, I was substantially less worried about those bastions because they were either going to be very, very beat up or some of them were going to be dead to try to get through that.
I was going to say, especially if they walk through it, yeah.
So, I mean, like, that one guy, yes, he can stab her, but he's welcome to. And I think that's about the end of it. And then I just remember for my own personal gratification that I need to feed here? Yeah. Here's me grabbing a token because I was unprepared.
It's a wonderful time and a half.
Yep.
Just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, I'm trying to show off that I feeded.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, Grizzle's feed is not so good normally. It's hyper-aggressive and unrelenting. So if my guys are engaging an enemy model melee, they get +2 armor. And if an enemy model damages them, they can advance towards that model after the attack's resolved.
Full advance?
Full advance.
All right.
No attack or anything like that, just move.
I think it's one of the rune shapers over there tossing a rock at my poor Bastion, who's just going to die.
Yeah.
The book's bubble's still up if he's knocked down, right?
Yes.
Yep. Correct.
Yeah. Nothing stops that. Like, if it's up, the only way to get rid of it is to kill the book.
Yep.
Which, with stupid martyrdom, isn't so easy.
Well, you can throw where you get it out of the way.
Yeah, but even then, you're only going to clear 5 to 6 inches. And if you scatter bad with a throw or don't have a good target to hit.
Sure.
Yeah, so I go through with all that stuff, and my Pyre Troll walks on up here and doesn't take any feet damage.
Because he's a Pyre Troll.
Yep. And horks a loogie at that errant over there.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well, now
sorry, here's why I'm thinking errant. Because I missed because it's a Pyre Troll, and I wasn't really expecting to hit. And then here's where we see one of those Andy drifts, except you'll realize Andy's not playing the Trollbloods.
So it goes where Andy wants it to anyway?
Yeah, right back into that Rune Shaper back there.
Oh, no.
And he's out of the stone range.
Yeah.
Womp, womp.
It's only a 3-inch, though, right?
It's only a 3-inch.
3-inch.
But yeah, I've got a big fat troll base. So I hit him. I don't do any damage because it's only power 6, and Rune Shaper's armor 15.
Wait, how far did it drift?
It drifted, I think, like 3 inches, but it drifted through the wood kind of angle.
Okay.
It's hitting the one on the far end of the table, not the one in the middle.
Far one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The one that's actually in the forest.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah, the Pyre Troll didn't do much, but he did drop his Animus on Grizzle, so she's immune to fire, so the Vanquishers can't shoot her.
Good choice.
Unless Harbinger decides to purify.
The odd part is I was not even remotely wanting to send any shots at her because I wanted Mulg dead before I even started killing her.
Well, and that's, like I said, that's one of the reasons Mulg's on the list, because you try that stunt with Mulg standing there, and Mulg's going to make you pay.
Yeah, he's going to come over and say, hello, here's my club. I'm going to like, I don't want to join it. And he's like, too bad. So, yeah.
All right, so and here's an act of desperation because I see that Gorman's right there. I move one of the Rune Shapers through the feet, hoping that either I will survive the damage roll or what have you.
We're checking to see if he's in or out. He's out, looks like.
Yep. And, well, it does enough damage to kill it, so I'm hoping he makes a tough check because he said he won't die, and none of that happens. So he's just dead.
Burn. And then the other one's in the
book
range.
Book's range, so they can't do any spells.
Yeah, man, I honestly don't when I was looking over commands for the Trollcasters, I don't remember Gristle being a 9, but wow, that's really good under Mulg's feet, or Mulg's Animus.
Yeah. Well, and the other reason that works well in this list, too, is because you'll notice that outside of the Krellstone, nothing is fearless. The highest command other than Grizzle is an 8.
True.
But Grizzle's granting fearless to everything in her command range, so a lot of that stuff that would run away in a bad spot holds its ground.
That's one of my biggest issues with Doom Shaper 1 and my Rune Shaper list is all those Rune Shapers.
Terror will mess you up.
Horrible for command checks. Why are they 8? It's just
because they're already so awesome they couldn't make a 9.
Because they feel like they're on shaky ground.
No, that's anything but true.
That's the joke.
No, that was
I don't get
pretty
it,
bad.
and it's bad.
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty horrible. Speaking of what's not horrible, Hot Rod. That's a great movie.
That sounds familiar.
Well, if you want, we can watch it after this. It's an amazing movie. It's Ian McShane.
I meant more you guys have talked about in the past.
We probably have talked about it. I don't know if it's actually in our recommendations, but it should be, and that's why I'm mentioning it, because it's awesome.
Yeah.
And there's Gorman. Hey, what's Gorman going to do? Oh,
Yeah.
he's someone you're... Oh, no. Is he really?
Yeah, he really is, because that's what Gorman does. And so basically douses Mulg in black oil.
Yeah.
So even though Mulg got to slam a book around, he's not going to do anything for a long time.
And that was a whopping defense, 7?
Yeah, he is. Proud of that 7. Yeah, I think that's me griping about stupid black oil a little bit. And how I really wanted Gorman dead.
Still an interesting tech, though, about black oil and some of the other stacking effects. Do you listen to our last podcast?
Yes.
Where Nathan mentioned that?
You can't
Like,
double apply an effect.
Yes, how you do it on your own turn. That way they can't get it on the next one.
Yep. That's pretty awesome with black...
It felt really corner case, though. Right? Like, it requires you to have the same effect that they have.
Correct. But if you're running like Signar or Kador or Protectorate, you're going to have Gorman in your list.
Yeah, it's a good chance.
So, I mean...
But that requires them to have a Gorman as well. And then that matchup to happen. So like I said, it sounds a little
True.
corner case.
True.
Or like the Death Chill example is going to be even more so.
Yes, that is a complete corner case for that one. But I think black oil is a pretty good one, at least.
It's more important for like the Colossals, because that's the one big figure you're going to black oil.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is you black oil your own dudes, your opponent's going to go, well, I can't do it again, I'm going to black oil something different.
Yeah.
True.
So pro tip, if you're playing against Lilith 3 and you're playing Cricks, shoot your own guys with your pistol rates.
I'm okay with that. I should do that more often.
Nope.
All right, so he's got his exemplars filling in to crush my meager rune shapers.
Yep. And again, that one exemplar over there received a charge order, and he doesn't... Yeah, I'm not going to kill that Digme. Or, damn it, the Bushwhacker.
He just feels bad for him.
That's 3 folks.
Yeah, so he's basically at this point, pushing his army against mine because that stupid book has stopped me from doing the same thing to him. Because if I could have had an inhospitable ground up, Rupert would have had to start getting closer, and I could have killed him. It would have been awesome. But no. I forget what happened there. Did you just...
I missed on one of the attacks.
Oh,
I
that's
think.
right.
He whiffed.
Yeah.
Second one hit.
Second one hit and murdered, and then
Yeah,
I
they
left with
don't
a bunch
survive
of
weapon
exemplars that
masters.
don't do much.
The rune shapers are more or less there to survive chump and like run to jams. People who try to run to my army to jam them up instead. And then they just tremor and knock them all down, and then the bushwhackers go, oh, knock down targets. We can hit those.
Now here comes Glenn. You guys probably heard him on the podcast. He's sitting up there. He distracts us a lot, too.
Are you sure it's him or his shirt?
No, his shirt is distracting, too, but Glenn is also distracting. He also wants us to make a mention, too, that his house burnt down, too.
Does he bring it up every single time you see him?
No. But he was upset that somebody else is getting more coverage about his house burning down.
Did Glenn also get a free army?
No, Glenn did not get a free army.
Well, he's buying most of it back with the insurance money. But
he is, but I think
yeah.
the other person got insurance money too.
The other person.
He had a better publicist.
Who also works for an insurance company. So I think he's covered. No, but yeah, Glenn was lamenting that other people are getting better coverage.
Glenn, we feel your pain.
Yeah. He is the guy, I think we mentioned before on the podcast too, he's the guy who actually started Battle College.
Really?
Yep. That's Ring Snake.
Dude, that's sweet.
Yep. And of course it's...
When was the last time it updated?
Yeah, it's also
well,
now...
he also handed it off.
Yeah, he hasn't touched it since Mark 1, I think. So it's now a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
I was going to say, misinformation, but sure.
That would do that too.
I like the Wretched Hive better. It sounds better.
Really? I mean, I would go with 4chan for that one personally.
Oh, well, I guess that is pretty much true.
So here Andy's taking some pot shots at Mulg with the Vanquisher because, missing's not going to be a thing.
Nope.
When you introduce auto fire to black oil, it should burn hotter.
I'm immune to fire.
Or it could burn itself off and then you can see again.
Oh.
Yeah. So it does some damage to Mulg, and here's one of the other spots where I'm, actually kind of fond of a maneuver I pull off as I stop and mark the cards and double check on some stuff. Mulg, hyper aggressive towards that Jack. 6 inches because he got hurt by it.
He's not immune to free strikes at that point, though, correct?
No.
He's not.
Okay.
No, but there's nothing there to free strike him.
Yeah. That's very true.
The exemplar is they have reach, right?
No, they don't.
No.
Oh, what?
No, only the Bastions do.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Yep, I
Can I just rail a minute about how PP keeps putting out models with big ass swords who don't have reach?
Yeah.
It gets old.
Oh, and some they give reach to models that
Giant little butter swords.
Yeah, like the Avatar.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that extends like Lino's sword from Thundercats. Just yells, Menoth, 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 and then he gets to stab things.
It only gets to extend when you roll for a 1 for the focus,
It does kind of look like that sword,
which happens almost all the time anyway.
right?
It's like turn 2. Oh, that's when I've rolled a 1. Thank you.
He doesn't need extra focus, does he?
Yeah, no, it's always turn 1. Turn 1, always you get 4 focus.
I'm going to run now.
Yep, I'm going to run and I'm going to gaze and this sucks. Turn 2. All right, the Avatar's going to get into action. 2 focus.
It's too bad you can't get your free focus and get allocated focus. They get souls from.
No, no. God, that thing does not need souls and does not need extra focus. So, Bastion's over there. They're charging away.
Yep, that one Bastion that moved towards Grizzle actually moved to engage Grizzle, but charged the Earthborn.
Yep, because I wanted to make sure you get some shots into the Earthborn because Weapon Masters do well against them.
Yep.
And the PS on the Bastions is?
It's 12?
Yeah,
12 or 13. And they're Weapon Masters, too, so they hit pretty hard. And the Earthborn's armor 20 right now because the stone's up. But then I actually use that feat again and waltz him towards the other Bastion to engage him. Or, towards the Bastion that hurt him, I should say, and to engage him to get more armor.
Using hyper aggressive.
And
unyielding.
Yep.
And it's kind of interesting because a lot of people don't think that Gristle's feat is really that great, but...
Well, it's not really that great. As far as feats go, it's bottom 10 for sure.
Yeah.
It's got uses.
Yeah, it definitely showed some uses in this time around.
And it is sure as hell better than Gumbjorn's feat. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I don't care what you have to say. Immunity to blast damage for Trollbloods is not a big deal. Steady is not that big a deal. And cover is really not that big a deal.
Cover can do a lot for you.
It can, but I have faced multiple armies that don't care one iota about it.
I mean, you wouldn't drop it against Legion.
Right, well, and the cover works against Legion Beasts, actually.
Oh,
cover
yeah.
works, concealment doesn't.
Yeah.
But like Nis Hunters have Hunter. They don't care.
Right.
There's a lot of heavy focused melee armies who don't care. Because it's not an obstacle, they just don't care.
Yep.
And so unless your opponent plays a ranged heavy army that can't ignore cover, it doesn't do anything.
That doesn't include Inhospitable Ground, does it? It's just cover.
It's just cover.
Just cover is all it is.
Yeah.
If it was in Hospitable Ground, it'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, that would totally make sense Fluff Life, too.
Yeah. Or even just a +4 defense or something like that would have been a much better feat than
cover.
Yeah. Gumbjorn's feat is just terrible. It is.
Just one turn, I'm just going to be really, really hard to hit would have been much better than if you get into melee, my feat doesn't matter.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering, what are you planning on doing at this point in time? Because I know you very quickly decide I'm going to murder Mulg. But
yeah, first I want to go and repair the Harbinger. I'm going to try to send some knights in to kill Mulg because I figured once I kill Mulg, once I take care of the Earthborn, that's really when I can deal with your army because I don't really care about the Pyre that much. So it's me trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. I think I move Harby now. I want to say. Looks like I'm messing with focus.
I bet we're going to find out in a minute.
Hey, look at that.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, look. They're in the range for Crusader's Call.
It's Harvey. How are they not in range?
That is
She's
true.
been hiding behind that wall the whole game.
Oh, and this is my first time I use a brack, so it explodes.
Of course.
I don't see why people complain so much when they explode. I mean, if you've got a trio of them and you can only draw from one of them anyways.
I'm not really complaining.
No, I didn't really assume you were, but I've seen people like grow up, like, of course it explodes. Like,
Do they get one in turn or one for the game?
they get one every turn. So if it doesn't
Yeah.
explode, you can draw from again.
Yeah.
So instead, like Andy's got 3 here, he could have. Do they come in batches of 3? Or, do you pick, or is it?
Yep, 1 for 3.
Yeah. Then I have no idea why people ever complain when they explode. If it was like you buy 1 for a point.
Then there'd be an issue.
They don't explode and hurt other things, though, right? They just
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's in a 5-inch AOE that pops on them.
Okay. Well, that's
So
that's bitch-worthy.
Yeah, generally you want to try not to have them near things.
Yeah. I like to pretend when that happens, it's like when a rubber band snaps in your hands, they just kind of flail around.
Awesome thing in the playtest rules for Mark II,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't make those things immobile, so you can actually pick them up and throw them.
Oh, no.
So you can lawn dart.
And then pull the focus off them and try to make them explode on the enemy, too.
Nice.
No, because every time they hit something, they die. They take a point of
that's
damage,
right.
they explode. So you throw them at something, and then they just explode. And it's like a POW 15. I think it's nasty when it hits.
All right, so that's another Drifting Vanquisher shot. I think he actually hits his own guys in that one for once.
Like
Yeah.
Gorman.
Yeah, but Gorman doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
It's fire.
Stupid Gorman.
And I kill one of my own guys, and I'm trying to decide if I want to martyr him. But no.
And for those unaware, Gorman doesn't care because of...
He's immune to fire.
And?
Corrosion, too, I think.
Yep.
Pissed someone off really bad when I hit him with a Winter Troll spray once.
Not immune to cold, are you?
That nobody takes Winter Trolls.
Oh, man, I like Winter Trolls. I took them at War Machine Weekend. They're awesome.
They can be really good in the right spot. I really wish they were 4 points. Or Rat 5.
Yeah, they're 5 points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If one of those two things happened, I'd be a lot happier with them. As they are, it takes some work for me to do anything.
I was looking today, and this is really off topic. We didn't go much off topic on here, but I wanted to go more, but everyone keeps on reeling it in.
Oh,
but,
sorry.
But no, I was looking at the Trollblood list, and freaking Slag Trolls. I didn't know that was a rate of fire too.
Yep.
On their springs.
Really?
Yeah. It's a rate of fire too. I'm like, oh, that's why they're 6 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because that's why I take them a lot with Grim. Because Grim will knock something out with the snare gun, and they'll go hork.
Yeah.
And then something will be missing a lot of points from a lot of damage from a 6-point model.
Yep. So there goes my Knights Exemplar slamming into Mulg. 3 Weapon Masters. Mulg's hurting a little bit.
Yeah, at this point in time, he's got a little bit of damage, and he's just barely within that Krellstone reach, and got Unyielding, so he's armor 23 right now.
Yeah.
And then, they decided to pick a fight with the Rune Bearers, or Rune Shapers.
There's only one dead there, so I put skulls next to my leader model to represent the models that die. So it kind of has a nice little pile of skulls as the...
And just so that you remember as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing I wish people do more of in the game is really token out everything. And when I run tournaments up in Minneapolis, I really recommend my players use tokens for everything. Because a lot of people will just like, oh, I cut my feet.
Yep. Mulg is also blind here, too.
Yes.
Do
Yep.
remind that, so I'm not going to miss Mulg unless
Yeah.
I
It's
double
the
ones it.
damage rolls, and your damage rolls are actually really good here.
Yeah.
Like, you were doing an average about 5 or 6 per guy at dice minus, what was it, like?
He was at 23.
Yeah.
So, and I was at 12.
Yeah.
'Cause-
So
'cause
you're
I
like
had
dice
one guy.
minus 11 and putting 5 or 6 points of damage into him per guy.
Charge Weapon Master, that's effective. Average dice is like what, 13? No.
14. 14 on 4 dice is pretty standard.
Yeah.
So about 3 points of damage per guy would have been a little bit more standard, but 5 or 6 was
I was rolling
more than I was
good.
expecting.
In my mind, whenever I roll high on like 3 dice or 4 dice, I, for some odd reason, automatically think I'm making a good D&D character.
I think you might be a nerd there, Andy.
Might be. It's like I roll a 17. Oh, great.
That's going into strength.
No,
was so sad.
you have to wait for the 18 for that, so you can get the percentile strength for the second edition characters.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Second edition. Yeah, I got to hope for that 00.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeff, you're a nerd too.
No.
Jimmy, you know what THAC0 is, don't you?
I'm not going to admit to that.
So you know what it is.
It's 2-hit armor class 0.
That's what we thought.
Yeah, that's what we thought. Yep. So I actually advance a little bit further with my Vanquisher there to... I think I go up and punch somebody.
No, I think you start firing more shots into those scribes.
Oh, no. And actually, I hit him that time. I didn't want to hit him.
You wanted to scatter?
Yep, I wanted to scatter.
Well,
There was a better chance to hit a couple other guys.
Yeah.
So it was a little self-sack.
If you haven't noticed, this game is much, like, besides the fact that we're both playing super slow, much more of an attrition match than the previous 2 battle reports. Kind of drew this one into a slugfest.
Well, Protectorate and Trolls will do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's...
No, it's very much a slugfest as Andy is slowly killing my army, and I'm picking up pieces here and there and failing elsewhere.
Yep. So, do note, I did put tough on those Knights Exemplar.
Yep.
And...
Fire, I think murders that pig there. Yep.
Yep.
And alert him to be on fire. I fire my Rune Bearer, the Rune Shaper, burns him, and, kills him. Fire from my Pyre Troll, if you didn't remember.
Was it friendly fire?
Yeah, no.
I
I know what you're trying to do, and no.
all Protectorate fire is friendly.
And then I leave a Point of Fury on Mulg because he's blind if he's not going to do too much, and then he decides he wants to Frenzy.
Yeah, so a Matt 1 Mulg.
Oh,
Yeah. -4 from blind, -2 from awe.
Yep.
Matt 1 Mulg. Oh, and he's taking enough damage from those exemplars. He doesn't have a mind at this point in time.
So on 2 dice, he's going after one of my knights. And
Yeah, smash.
yeah, we decide which knight it was going to be, and hits him with 11.
nice.
Like, really?
Yeah, Mulg will learn you.
To be fair, if Maul's just gonna blindly thrash, he's probably gonna hit something.
Yeah. But Andy martyrs it away, so he's still got his.
Nope.
That's right. You let that one die, didn't you?
That was the tough roll.
Yep.
I forgot to eat him. I could have healed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. So at this point in time, I take way too long again because Grizzle's way out in the open with a bastion on her. That's a bad thing, apparently.
That's kind of why I put the bastion there to help prevent her from shooting. That's
No, Grizzle doesn't like to shoot.
no, that's all she did.
Yeah,
So
I know.
you
And
shot 3
here's
times.
and actually here's where I decided instead of taking the tough check, I was going to martyr him. So
Oh, Andy.
yeah, I'm sitting pretty. Mulg's almost dead.
Yeah,
Earthborn is
he's tied up.
It's tied up a little bit.
I'm trying to figure out what I can possibly do with Grizzle there, because now that my feet's gone, all my endurance is spent, and most of my beasts are as good as dead. You can't hear from the podcast because the sound's not here, but the wheel in my head is turning really, really, really hard, and it actually needs a little bit less of the black oil to work.
Oh, so I had a thought, right?
Uh-oh.
If you set something that's black oil on fire, right, it could make a smoke cloud around it.
Oh,
That'd be sweet.
that'd actually be pretty cool. So
I mean, that's a
it
little
would
more-
give a concealment.
Yeah.
If it's on fire, it should have concealment.
Yes, from the smoke.
There's one of the kind of things I missed from Mark 1 is those 1-2 effects, like how the canker worm, I think, got armor piercing on a corroded target or something like that.
Yeah.
On the one hand, I really appreciate that they took that kind of stuff out, so it's not like really weird interactions everywhere. It's really straightforward.
It's one of
and
those
clean.
fond memories that I'm glad isn't a current memory.
I'm too young for that.
Yeah, I miss a lot of the awesome stuff from that.
You know who says that? Anywhere from Mark 1.
Yeah. I miss having to feed things to the Death Jack so he wouldn't frenzy on my caster. I mean, I miss some of the little fluff things. Not really so much the rules interactions, but I like the little fluff things.
Sure.
Like the Death Jack and that. And yeah. Just, I remember back in my day. No, just,
You want me to get off your lawn now?
yeah, get off my lawn.
Okay.
All right, let me say it correctly. Get off my lawn! Goddamn kids.
All right, so what happened here is my Impaler tried to like slam, not like throw a spear slam, but just slam that bastion and missed horribly. So I'm just starting to throw dice down to stab him, and apparently decided like, okay, we were just supposed to kill it instead.
Seems to work.
Yeah.
Now, why did you want to slam him first instead of just outright killing him?
Because between Martyrdom and the fact that he can shuffle the damage around, I thought the Bastion was going to still be there. But if I slam him, he gets knocked down, and Grizzle suddenly has free reign again.
Okay. Now, Andy, why didn't you martyrdom him?
I was running kind of low on health,
Okay.
and actually, I think he was out of that range anyway.
Oh, yeah, 'cause it's only 10 inches. And
Oh,
Yeah.
command, right?
Oh God, if it was,
you would be able to stop her army if it was a control.
I need to change my pants.
I'm a little horrified.
By the way, that was how it was at Mark 1.
God damn it.
Well, it was you put it on a model that time around, or a unit, if I remember correctly.
It's not at any time. It's you put it in first and then it happens.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So, and she was like one of the few casters back then that actually had purification, so you wouldn't be able to get rid of it.
Can I just say purification and 20-inch bubbles? Kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it's kind of bullshit.
Just saying.
Some people say purification is kind of bullshit in general, but
I disagree. There's only a couple casters that really make it a
Yeah.
bullshit move.
I mean, on a 12-banger,
She's
not that bad.
To be honest with you, she's probably the worst defender out of all of them, because all
Yeah.
those other casters that got really awesome upkeeps that they won in play.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about anything.
Yeah.
If she needs to, she can just recast it.
Well, it's honestly, I think it's her and Vale too, because both those casters either A, don't care, or can just get the spell back.
Vale could just pop her feet that turn too, or part of her feet just cast it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Whereas like Krios and Doomshaper, they do lose something when they cast that spell.
Yep.
I'm not going to deny it's still good. I mean,
Well, also, Krios is only focus 6, so it's only 12 inches away. It's not that big a deal.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, he can use it effectively, but it's not going to.
He's a 7. He's a 7.
Still, I mean, that's 6 inches less across either side. So that's 12 inches across the bubble.
Correct.
Yeah, and
which
Krios is along the squishy side too.
which is kind of funny. Quick Pressganger story. Since you're aspiring to be one, but I filled in. Don't do this during a demo game. I replaced somebody in a demo game, and that person that was playing against it was Krios versus Striker, and I replaced
The new guy has Striker?
The new guy had Striker.
Okay.
And the Pressganger had Krios. I sat down at the table, and I saw like a nice killing lane that the Striker player had, and I'm like, oh, so you could do this and this and this, and you could probably kill Krios this turn. And so all you have to do is cast Earthquake on Krios, knock him down, and he's like, oh, I can't cast that. I'm like, why not? He's like, you got Lamentation up.
Aww.
I'm like, what? You play demos on a 20 by 20 board, 20 inch by 20 inch board, and Krios takes up 14 of that with Lamentation.
Yeah, that's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's not the thing you want to do for a brand new player, is teach them all about Lamentation.
Did they also pop his feet and stomp his face in?
I know, but I wholly expected him to do that. That would have been horrendous.
Be nice to new guys.
Yeah.
Don't. I really don't like the starter battle boxes for most of the War Machine factions because of that. The features so vicious.
There's stupid Gristle yelling at Gorman.
Well, you didn't see my heart breaking because of the Striker story, but I was going to sit there and knock down like 2 of the knights and catch Gorman in a blast that way, but Grizzle needing a 4 roll to 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But thankfully the drift was small and it still clipped Gorman, so I boosted the damage and blew his brains out.
Yeah, I look back at the screen and all of a sudden there's no more Gorman.
Yeah, I'm really upset about that.
I can tell.
I miss him. He's an awesome hat and everything.
I don't think you do.
Yeah,
I think you're okay with him being gone.
Yeah. I'm. You can't tell, but I'm dancing. Yeah. And so here I'm throwing out another one of those crescendo shouts into melee again because I'm not worried about Mulg taking power 6 blast damage.
Yep. So yeah, that's hitting one of my knights there. We're just checking everybody's range.
Yeah.
And those knights have tough. Do you remember that? Those knights have tough. So
Because of Rupert.
because of Rupert, yeah.
Doesn't seem like much, but it does come into play later.
Yes.
Can I just say that when I was playing Khador, that I was really sad that Rupert didn't play for Khador.
Well, he's barefoot and there's snow.
It is
Yeah.
kind of chilly. Not when they're down south.
Yeah. You mean Khador South? I like. You ever see the map of Khador?
Yeah.
Like North Khador, South Khador, and it's basically like Island Khador. It's just all the map of Imran just has Khador attached to it.
That's because it's ours.
Yeah, and it's small Khador is where the rule. Just
Hot and dry Kador.
Yeah. Undead Kador. Yeah.
All right, so of course, since Grizzle can't cast spells, she's yelling her heart out and firing off a spray. And just, going like, I am going to destroy those Knights Errant, or Exemplar. The Errant are way off the table by now.
Yeah, they're not even in my bag.
Yeah. So yeah, excitement happens, except that my dice sit there and decide to continue to play a little rough. And
You just rolled a 12 and then an 8 and then a 9. And then a 7. Doesn't seem very rough.
I thought I remember that doing worse than it actually did. Maybe I was wrong. Okay, no, that's right. My dice decided to obliterate them there. My bad.
Yeah, they all
Wait
just
a minute.
died.
I'm still thinking about those poor bushwhackers over on that side table. I think, speaking of which...
The time for them now?
Yes. It's their time to shine. They're going to own this field. They're in the clear. There's only a couple of guys near them. Everything's in range.
Come on, CRA on the heavy.
No, or they could...
To put one power 17 into it?
That was a joke.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, my favorite is they're going to try killing that guy. There you go. Oh,
Yeah.
they got range. They got him.
They got this. Only need a 6 to hit.
Nope.
That's okay. I've got more.
A couple more here.
You're CRAing them?
Yeah. Oh, you don't do those single shots with pigs
Nope.
unless you can't.
I guess you could
Two
roll
more?
a 3 again.
Yeah.
Nope.
Or 4.
Yeah. So yeah, they can do wonderful things. This is a very bad example of a unit people don't like, anyways. But they have won me games. Nobody likes it when they walk up 6 inches through woods and put a big power, 20 shot into somebody they weren't expecting.
Are they Pathfinder?
They're a Pathfinder.
Yeah.
And the advanced deploy helps a whole bunch too.
I liked them in my Gristle 1 list. I played with them.
In the right list, they do a lot of work, but it's not in raw damage. They are actually a harassment unit,
Yeah.
and not just because they cause a lot of problems with the women. That was the joke.
Okay. I was trying to come up with some kind of witty comeback, and nothing came to me.
No.
So yeah, basically, this point in time after that, if my pygmies accomplished literally nothing,
And the pigs are power 10, right?
yeah,
So I feel like them shooting at medium base, lower defense, infantry is pretty decent.
yeah,
Yeah.
You just put a handful of power 12s into them, like the knights. Both Errants and Exemplar are usually pretty solid targets.
Yeah, 5 power 12s.
Yeah.
Dice minus 4 to 6 on things.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, they can usually kill a couple of them. Or, like, somebody's got an important solo they put out too far that move 6 inches and just put big shots into them. They just pick up an important solo real quick, too.
And I suppose they're pretty good at hitting backline stuff, too, with the range 14.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. They would have been really good to sneak around the corner there and start taking out my choir, but my choir aren't really
Doing much for you?
Yeah, they're not necessary really for this list.
Yeah. I wouldn't have felt it would accomplish much. Once you got that shield guard sitting next to the Harbinger, I don't think they're going to...
Yeah.
But I thought they were your Menoth tax. Thought you had to have them.
What? The
Choir.
choir?
Well, it's stupid not to take them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Rune Shaper's up there. One moved out of the range of the book enough to get a tremor into play.
Yep.
And I think the other one smacked one in the head.
Yep. Because it knocked... It's hard to see because there's a lot of pewter there, but it knocked down one of the Knights' Exemplar. And so the Rune Shaper, who was in the area where he couldn't cast spells, just hit him with his melee weapon then. And the Pirate Troll goes up to the Bastion, which is hiding right behind that Earthborn.
Yep.
Gonna teach him some fiery justice. Or maybe just punch him.
Isn't that Andy's line? With Fiery Justice?
Oh, yeah, but have you seen the Pirate Troll? He's like holding fistfuls of fire.
Let it be known, I really like the metal sculpt more than the
I
plastic
100%
sculpt.
agree.
Plastic sculpt for me it seems like he's got an extra forearm attached onto his arm. He's like Popeye.
I don't like the pose, and the plastic Pirate Troll is huge, but if I could get the pewter Pirate Troll like 20 to 30% bigger, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, I agree. He's about like normal troll size for
He
he's so
blends
tiny.
in with the rest of the army if you don't have him vibrantly painted.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that new plastic compared to, say, the new Lightning plastic?
The new Lightning plastic's pretty awesome.
Right, it's really
Yeah.
good.
I
And he's
like
big.
how he looks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new bouncer specifically yet.
I think he's really close to the pewter one, to be honest.
Okay.
You know what I've been noticing with the new plastic mediums, and I don't mean to say this in detriment to PP or anything, but I feel kind of like the new plastic light beasts are kind of like frumpy. Like
the new trolls, like the battle box ones.
Yeah, like
yeah,
their heads are all a little lower and they're a little bit more crouched over.
Well, the thing is, they kept the shoulders just as broad, and they moved the head further on the torso.
Yeah.
So it looks like they got this really, really nasty slouch.
Yeah.
And no necks.
Yep, I 100% agree. And I feel like the new bouncer's like that.
The bouncer actually always was like that. He just got a different posture, so it doesn't show as bad.
Sure.
And he's a much more defensive beast, so it feels better on him.
And plus, making him not 3 pounds is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's a lot of metal.
Yeah, he's pretty hefty.
For a light, at least.
So here's what's going on: is that Pirate Troll killed the last of the bastions, and in an act of desperation, that Earthborn is going to try to trample over to his Vanquisher over those Knights Exemplar to try to smash that Vanquisher bits before it gets meat.
Yep. So we're doing kind of the friendly adjusting of the endpoints. We can see we're definitely the endpoint there. We're going to try to make sure it actually goes in a straight line.
Right. And,
so
and doesn't like get a free strike from the Exemplar. He's not going over.
Yep.
Now, there's a little bit of contention whether or not dropping a template down is kosher for some folks. I take it you guys pretty okay with it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was obvious I had a pathway. It just makes it a lot easier, just in case it stops the weird half adjustments, like, nope, you hit your own guy's base, you know, and things like that.
All right, so there you go. So he hit a couple there, killed it, and I'm like, oh, I could just.
You can snack the tramples, can't you?
You can snack the tramples,
Yeah.
but instead he's
making sure that I martyr them, and it goes to the second one there.
Snacking should be RFP,
and I murder it,
but
and then
hits first.
wait,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah, there's a moment of realization there.
Yep.
Did you just realize what?
That Harbinger just took 6 points damage from martyrdom and had 6 health left.
Yep.
Did you? You did not.
I did.
What?
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
Andy.
Yeah.
Now, fun little side note. Remember how he said that those guys had tough from Rupert?
The whole fucking time.
Did you forget?
I forgot they had tough.
Oh no.
And I rolled a 5. And then I rolled a 6, and then Jeff basically told me there, he's like, "Oh, you could just take them as tough checks," and that's when I actually erased the damage off the thing what you just saw there, and I'm like, no, we'll just end this here, and I shook his hand,
Like I'm done.
Yeah,
You just pulled. You just pulled an E-striker.
Yeah, I just basically killed myself, which you know what? This can happen in games anyway, so I figured it'd be a good story.
Yeah, because if in tournament play, someone may not be quite so liberal as like, no, you can take back the martyrdoms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's no clause on her rules anywhere that says that you cannot do it if you don't have enough health to do it, right?
Well, because you don't know how much damage you take till you say I'm going to martyr.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can
So
take
there's
one,
always
you
a
can take
chance that
three.
you kill yourself. Well, I mean, as opposed to an effect that says you can't do it if you have X amount of health. Whatever.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I did. Is in fact, I wasn't even paying attention. Really, I was just rolling dice, and I marked down the damage, and then I rolled the next die, and I went to mark it down. I'm like, oh, I don't have enough. Whoops! They've actually killed me. Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is pay attention where your health is when you've got those take damage and get some cool effect. I'm waiting to see some of the Morvana players reroll themselves to death.
Oh God, I can't wait for that. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for our third battle box.
Sorry we're so on topic. It was just one of those days.
I don't think we offended anybody this time.
No.
I'm not going to do it. Don't worry.
You're not gonna?
No,
Why
okay.
not?
Because I'm unlike some people, Nathan. I'm nice.
No.
And I don't make fun of people from other states,
No.
except for Nathan.
Okay. Well, that's it. Thanks, y'all for watching. Y'all.
Yeah.
I say y'all.
Y'all.
I say y'all.
Just suddenly get some text in here.
Hey,
or something?
I listened to 3-6 Mafia the entire way down here. It's all y'all.
All right. Take it easy.